The national champion is clad in big orange.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. That's the ball game. The national champion is clad in big orange.
At Summit and Destiny have met 7 times before. Tonight is number 8.
Tennessee Volunteers have wrapped up an SEC outright regular season title. Connect with
the SEC runs through Rocky Top. Tennessee wins the SEC regular season crown for the 2nd consecutive season.
the 1-0. In the air, right center field. Cross on the move. Walk it down. Tennessee walks it off. It's a mismatch. Deep three. Come on. And don't connect. Robbie Draghi this time. Indeed. New hand jam. Down the middle. Got it. The fly is high and again. And he's going to take it. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Hey, how much fun is this?
Man, Rocky Top, this is college football at its absolute best.
Yes, sir. It's college athletics at its absolute best. Welcome into another episode of the Fanatics Show. It is Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, coming at you live. Yes, we got a lot to talk about. Feeling a little super headed into this weekend, but also, Michael, we got to talk about men's, man. We're going into SEC tournament time. What do we got this week? First off, before I jump the gun, how are you doing, Michael, my co-host?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. You know, it is a Monday night, so it's a little bit different from what we have been doing. Kind of some scheduling changes this week with my job, but also trying to work around the SEC tournament too, because you know obviously Tennessee will be playing tomorrow night in the SEC tournament. But man, I'm doing fantastic. I did actually just find out when I opened up Facebook to share the show, which by the way, everyone should share the show if you're watching. 9 years ago today was my graduation day. So you want to talk about throwing back the memories a little bit. 9 years ago. It's hard to believe that I've been out of school 9 years now. But yeah, 9 years ago today. Yeah, I'm very old. So yeah. You're just a year younger than me though.
Nah, I mean it's still a whole year and it'll always do that.
That's true. But no, how you doing this week, man?
Man, I'm doing all right. Had a good weekend. Got to spend it with the fam, and man, I'm just excited. Like what I witnessed over the weekend was pretty much, I mean, just one game away from being perfect. And we're going to break that down right here for you, and I cannot wait to talk about it. So blessed to be able to do that here on this Monday evening. We appreciate you guys being tuned in. If you are here, drop a comment. Let us know that you're here. And please, while we're in conversation on these games or anything that we go to highlight, please chime in. We want to hear your thoughts. If you got any questions, drop it in. But before we get started, I do want to let you guys know who runs the show and helps us run the show, and that is P&L Business Services. We know firsthand that getting your monthly reporting, invoicing, bill pay, taxes, and other essential business services right is critical. That's why at P&L Business Services, we go beyond bookkeeping by providing you with everything you need in your back office so you can have your time back and the peace of mind to do what you love most, which is building your business. Behind every successful business is a great bookkeeper. Guys, if this is something you feel like you need, maybe you're struggling on the paperwork side of things, but you're really good on the customer service, we want you to continue that. Don't let that drown you. Just reach out, go online to pnlbusinessservices.com. Now is the time to do it because I think they just got back from like a month-long vacation after tax season. So they're ready to take on new clients. They're thirsty for it. So reach out to them, but we really do appreciate their continued support of our channel. They've been here literally since day one. So, Michael, rundown. What are we doing?
So tonight we are going to start off by talking about the Lady Vols softball team, discuss that Knoxville Regional, and talk a little bit about the upcoming Super Regional. It's also going to be held in Knoxville. Segment 2, we're going to talk about Tennessee's series win against Oklahoma this past weekend, and we're going to look at the SEC tournament that starts tomorrow night, or actually tomorrow morning.
Come on.
Is whenever it'll start.
4 games a day probably, if not more.
Yeah, I think it's 4 games a day up until Friday or Saturday, whenever you get down to the semis. But yeah, talk about the SEC tournament. And then segment 3, we're going to talk about the new SEC head coaches.
Come on.
And how we think they're going to do, not just this year, But
ranking
in their
them, right?
entire
1 through 5?
yes, we're
Like
going
based
to
on
rank them
career?
1 through 5.
Not what they've done, what we project they're going to do, right?
What we project that they're going to do at their respective spots.
I love it. It was so nice to just go ahead and win it in 2. We're going to talk about that, but was it not nice to just have it was like literally back-to-back weeks where you literally beat the newcomers of the SEC in the first 2 games to where the game 3, not that you didn't want to go get it, but like there was no pressure to go get it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
It was nice. It was nice. We'll talk about that later. All
All
right.
But let's hop right into it. I'm going to give
Let's
you
do it.
our segment 1 sponsor, which is Optimal Asbestos Services. Optimal Asbestos Services offers detailed asbestos inspections and air quality assessments. Whether you're looking to secure your home or workplace, you can trust Optimal Asbestos Services to deliver thorough and reliable solutions. Contact Jeff Mull at 865-223-3297 for your consultation today, or go on the web at optimalasbestosservices.com. So, Knoxville Regional.
There it is.
Game 1 on Thursday. Wait, is it Tuesday?
We're doing this for you. We knew you wouldn't watch us if the baseball game was still going on tomorrow night. So look, we did this on purpose. We were thinking ahead.
We had to make sure that Rhonda was able to watch us.
That's a fact.
So,
I don't want her to have to choose because we're going to lose that every time, and I'm okay with that.
That is literally the reason that we're doing this on Monday.
The reason, and look, she tuned in. It worked out. It literally worked to perfection. All right, I'll let you go back. Let's go.
All right, Tennessee, Northern Kentucky. This started Friday night, Friday afternoon, and a little bit of a slow start. Not gonna lie. As far as the offense went, as far as the defense, as far as the pitching went, man, Aaron Newer was lights out in this contest. She had a fantastic game the entire time. Really the only blip that she had was that one run in the 6th inning. But other than that, she pitched fantastic. That was the only hit that she gave up in the game too, was in the 6th, I believe it was. But defense did the job behind her as well. Offense got just enough, and Tennessee comes up with a 3-1 victory in game 1. What were your thoughts on this one, Skylar?
A little nervous, not gonna lie. 3-1 victory.
A little bit.
Yes, all that matters is that you win, but at the end of the day, you're playing the 4 seed. I just expected a little bit more. I got to be honest with you. Now, I got to give, NKU a lot of credit. I think their pitching was pretty good, but I think our at-bats were just not very timely. I mean, obviously we did enough to get the job done. That's great, but you shouldn't have to rely against NKU. You shouldn't have to rely on your pitching staff only giving up 1 run. And so that was a little nerve-wracking, but at the end of the day, you got the win. What blew my mind the most is how good Aaron Newer was pitching, and yet only giving up 1 hit. Our defense really didn't play that well behind her. Got to be honest. I mean, we gave up like back-to-back. Oh, I could be wrong here. I felt like we had an error, maybe, I don't know, but like there was 1 hit I remember in the box, and yet we had given up a run based on like an error or something, maybe back-to-back errors. I can't remember how that went down, but yeah, that was a little alerting. But other than that, the ladies got the job done. And look, it's survive and advance. And at the end of the day, that's exactly what they did. And they stayed in the winner's bracket, which I feel like is key in any tournament style of play.
Yeah, so that 16 that you're referring to, Heineke for Northern Kentucky reached on a fielding error.
Yep.
Then let's see, sack bunt. Actually, 2 sack bunts. Advanced the runner to 3rd, and then fielding error by third base.
There it is. Yep.
Allowed for the.
It was back-to-back errors, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, it was that blew my mind. I was like, man, that's not really helping out Aaron at all. So, but
yeah, and at that point, that had tied the game up, and we're like, this is.
Here's what's crazy.
This is getting a little bit tense.
Our responses to giving up runs was immaculate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Elsa Morrison to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning with not just a home run, a bomb, like one that went over that wall that's out there in left field. I mean, it landed up there at the railroad tracks.
It reminded me of like
gone.
It reminded me of that is a State Farm commercial back in the day when it was like, I got $1 and you got to be quicker than that type thing. But it's like literally NKU ties it up, and like that didn't last maybe, I don't know, like maybe 5 minutes in real life that lasted before we went ahead and got back up on the scoreboard. That was awesome, man. And they did that really throughout the entire weekend. The way they handled responding to giving up a run was amazing. And that's what I need to see going into Supers. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, how big yeah, at least we aren't Ole Miss.
All right.
How big was it? How big was it as well that Aaron Newer was able to go complete game in this one for the rest of the weekend? I mean, it's probably not as big of a deal this weekend because I felt like you had the better pitching against every single one of your opponents, no matter who you put in the circle. But let's just say that you get put into a situation like this, and you probably will come Super Regionals and come Women's College World Series as long as you make it that far. How big is it going to be for your starting pitcher to go the distance and allow your other two aces in the room to be able to save their arms for their games?
Well, I mean, I feel like Aaron Newer gets treated like, I don't know, man. I feel like she is a good pitcher. I almost feel like she gets treated as if she's not, and it's a surprise when she does well. Like, I think it's quite the opposite. I think you threw her in this game knowing that she was going to get you a complete game. And I think she did her job. Like I said, like, it's crazy to think that they scored a run, and she only gave up one hit, I believe, in the entire game.
Yep.
I mean, she was dominant in the circle. But to your point, one pitcher, one game, that's huge no matter what the game or who the opponent. I mean, when you don't have to sacrifice the bullpen or make Carlin Pickens pitch in all 3 games. Same for Sage Marjetko. I mean, like, it is huge when you can have one lady start and finish a game for you because it just keeps pretty much all your options available down the stretch. And luckily for Tennessee, they didn't really have to stretch that game forward. You know, they were able to take care of business, stay in the winner's bracket. But yeah, Aaron Newer had a great game, but I feel like she needs to be treated more like a 2B rather than a 3 because I don't really feel like she's our third best. I really feel like her and Sage are neck and neck. And to be honest with you, at times I feel like they've both been better than Carlin for majority of the season. So, no, I loved what she did. I think she handled it fantastically. Like, sometimes I think about nerves in these situations because now it's win or go home for the most part. I mean, obviously we're kind of double elimination right now, but the way they handled the adversity, huge. I mean, they knew they had to have their best stuff, and she came out doing it. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So that led us into game 2 of the regional against Virginia. And, man, this one, the offense jumped right off the bat.
This is what I needed to see.
You go 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning to Virginia's batters, and then put up a 5 spot in the bottom of the first inning. And it started right away as Sophia Knight reached on a throwing error. Throw was just a little bit wide, pulled the first baseman off. And, you know, the umpire originally called that one out. And, you know, Karen Weekly started to come out and be like, you know, challenge that. But then she was like, hey, can we appeal to another umpire? Because it was pretty clear that the first baseman was off the bag. So they did that. Coach Weekly got to save her challenge. And then from there, a lot of Leach singled. Elsa Morrison doubled to score both Leach and Knight. Ella Dodge did ground out, but it did advance Elsa Morrison to third. Emma Clark walked. Gabby Leach was hit by a pitch, and then Mackenzie Butt hit a single that scored Gabby Leach, Emma Clark, and Elsa Morrison. And then Taylor Holly walked. And then Bella Fall reached on a fielder's choice. And that was pretty much it in that inning as Sophia Knight had a chance to even do more damage with the bases loaded there.
That's right.
But ended up grounding out to third. But then, you know, from there, you did have Sage Marjetko give up a 3-run home run in the third.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really feel like Virginia had momentum to make a comeback. And Emma Clark at that point in the bottom of the third, she said absolutely not. It hit a solo bomb to start the third, take it back to 6-3.
Again, how they responded to giving up runs. They immediately put a run back up on the score. Now, obviously, you give up 3, you only score 1, but you still responded. You still were able to come back.
Whatever momentum they had, you shut it down.
You never allowed it to snowball, and I love that.
Yeah, then in the 5th, Carlin Pickens came in for Sage, pitched pretty well in that 5th inning. You could tell there was a little bit of control problems. Then the 6th inning, give up a 2-run home run, and that cut it down 6-5. You started to get a little bit nervous.
I was very nervous.
But then bottom of the 6th inning, as you mentioned, once again, the response. Mackenzie Butt gets up and hits a home run to left field, making it 7-5, just squashing that momentum. And that ended up being the final score. 7-5, Tennessee gets the win over Virginia in Game 2 to advance to the Knoxville Regional Finals.
Huge. I mean, what about Sophia Knight, by the way? Like, in this game, obviously, she didn't have her best game. I think she went 0 for 4 in this one. But overall, she is now batting, I believe, 400 on the season. I mean, for an offense that we say is really not that explosive, I feel like I'm looking down this lineup, and I think we're heating up at the right time. I know I just talked about last game only scoring 3 runs, and that was a little alarming. But overall, as far as just getting base hits, I mean, I don't feel like we're the home run powering team. But as far as doing a job, moving a runner, whatever we need to do, I feel like this team's really starting to be able to do that. I mean, Alana Leach batting 330. Ella Dodge is almost batting 300 at 295. Ella Clark, 287. Mackenzie Butt, 322. Gabby Leach at 301. I mean, we starting to see almost the entire lineup be at that 290 to 300 mark, which is, I mean, all you could really ask for, really. I mean, that get any given inning, right? We can score. Mm-hmm. And what I loved about this game in particular, Tennessee doesn't start fast ever. Yep. So to see them put up a 5-spot early, and to be able to just defend the rest of the way, they did make it close. But Virginia's a good team. I mean, you had to know they were going to be coming, punching back. But the way we were able to kind of keep them, I'm not going to say at arm's length, but maybe at like forearm length. I mean, just a little bit out there. That was nice. And it was a big win. I mean, it was a huge win. You stayed in the winner's bracket, and you forced Virginia to play. Was it back-to-back games, or was it back-to-back-to-back games? Like, I can't remember how that worked.
See, they played back-to-back games because you had the elimination game before Tennessee and Virginia played.
Yes.
And then after that, you had Virginia play Indiana in the elimination game.
That's right.
That Sunday, it was going to be Game 1, and then, if necessary, Game 2.
There it is. So yeah, you forced them to play back-to-back games and then come back on the next day. Yeah, I mean, it was just, you put yourself in the best position possible, go out there and get a win, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you mentioned Sophia Knight. I actually heard this stat during the broadcast. So, obviously, she's our leadoff batter as far as the lineup goes. But when she leads off an inning, whether it be the beginning of the game or whether it be, she just happens to be the first one up to bat at the start of a new inning, she is batting .565 on the season when she leads off the inning. That is incredible. That's a stat that's almost unheard of. I mean,
she gets on base, man. She gets on base. I mean,
and
the definition of a leadoff batter. That's exactly. I mean, she works the count. She sees some pitches and she gets on base.
Yeah, and doesn't she have like over a 600 OPS or something like that? Like it's some insane stat that she's got as far as her, her on base percentage goes. Or
I don't know, but I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, she is the definition of what you want in a leadoff batter. What a role that she's filled. Glad to have her back. Glad to see Bella Fall coming back and do her thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you, I think this team's getting right at the right time, and they're going to need it. But they face Virginia again in Game 3, and as Rhonda kind of points out, I mean, Virginia just looked exhausted at this point. I mean, they done played 4 games or 3 games, about to play their 4th. Tennessee's just sitting there only playing the 2 games, and Tennessee pretty much kind of, I don't know, Michael, what do you say? Never in doubt?
I'm not going to say that because
I mean, they started first, but again, they answered.
I mean, they did. They answered, but
or technically we did. I'm sorry, we were the visiting team.
We were the visiting team in this one. So we did get on the board first. Virginia responded, and then Tennessee responded after that. But the reason I'm going to say that it was kind of in doubt is we kind of saw Carlin Pickens go back to the way we've seen her mid-season, where she just wasn't completely, I'm not going to say locked in, but she wasn't her, just ace self.
She only gave up 2 hits, but here's what you're talking
about. And only 1 run.
4 walks.
And 2 hit batters.
Accurate. Yeah, exactly. Yes, and then the 2 hit back. So 6 free bases, free passes, just inaccurate, almost like not trusting the pitch, right?
I mean, she did have 9 strikeouts too. So I mean, it was like one of those things where
it was weird.
A couple
It was
of batters,
any given like batter, she was in a different mindset almost.
Yeah, so it was very much in question to me, but the good thing that you got was, we talked about Tennessee scored first, Virginia responded, but then after that, Tennessee 1 spot in the 4th, 1 spot in the 5th, a 2 spot in the 6th. So they kept adding on those insurance runs after Virginia put up a run in the bottom of the 3rd to tie it up. So it was a great game. Going down to scoring, Sophia Knight once again getting the job done as Taylor Holly was on third base, hit a sac fly to left field to score Holly. And then you go to the 4th inning. Taylor Holly reached on an error, and Ella Dodge scored off of it. Mackenzie Butt in the 5th ended up singling, which scored Sophia Knight. And then the 6th inning, Taylor Holly with a wall scraper of a home run. But, hey, a home run is a home run. And then later in that inning, you had Alana Leach with a double that scored Bella Fall. And that was just insurance runs at that point. So Tennessee got the job done.
What about the freshmen, man, in this lineup? I mean,
Yes.
both of them are just playing so huge right now in this moment. I mean, everybody wants to talk about how young this team is because, seriously, the only senior we have playing is Carlin Pickens, and she's not even playing every game. So to talk about the youth in this team and the way they're handling the moment, I mean, it's what a coaching job by Karen Weekly. This is amazing. I mean, you have 2 freshmen who combined 2 for 3 technically. Ella Morrison 1 for 1. I believe
3 walks.
Yeah, she got on base all 4 times. That's what I was just about to say. And then you have Tanner Holly go 1 of 2, hits a bomb in the bottom of your lineup, basically. I mean, hitting in the 8 hole. I mean, like, she's hitting 303 on the season. Like, it's crazy what we're getting out of these freshmen. Love to see it. It's exactly what we need in this game. Like I said, I joked about never in doubt, but, like, honestly, to me, they really did kind of put their foot down, scoring every single inning until the game was over after Virginia scored first. They always throw up that graphic about how, like, the Lady Vols are almost 500 when the other team scores first, and they just kind of squashed that to bed. And again, technically, we scored first. I keep forgetting that we were the away team on this one. It's dumb the way those rules work, but, like, Virginia responded, and it was technically a tie ball game going into the 4th, and then that was the end of that. So no, it was a great game from the Lady Vols. Regional champs. It's what you got to do. You got to defend home field. And who do we get to welcome in for Supers Thursday night?
We get to welcome in Georgia to Knoxville.
You know what I don't mind about this?
What's that?
It's an opponent that we did not face in the regular season.
That's what I was just looking back. I could not remember if we had played Georgia or not. And You're right. So that is going to be refreshing. And, it's good because that means that, they haven't seen any of our players so far this season.
Hey, Georgia's a good hitting team, though. They are solid. If our pitchers are not on, I'm a little nervous. Got to be honest. Just because, I mean, if it turns into a shootout, which I think our pitchers are not going to allow, but if it did, I'm not feeling too confident. So just going to have to make sure that we keep them at bay. But they are, I think almost every batter in the lineup's like hitting 290 or higher in the Georgia lineup, which is actually crazy. So just gotta watch out for that.
Yeah, and Georgia, they're here for a reason. They're a very good team. 41-18 overall, 12-12 in conference play, which honestly, with how good the SEC is, that's not a bad record overall. So going through conference play, I'm going to look at common opponents that Georgia faced. And let's see, they faced off against Arkansas. We did not play them. Mississippi State, they won 2 out of 3 against them. Kentucky, they swept. Did not play Texas A&M. Missouri, they took 2 out of 3. Did not play Texas or Oklahoma. Florida, they took 2 out of 3 against. That's one of the
huge series, by the way. Which that's a rivalry series. That was kind of some. If you remember that, like I remember watching the highlights of that. That was a wild series. But yeah, I mean they're a solid team. Like you're saying. I mean they deserve to be here.
Yeah, and let's not forget about the run that they had in the SEC tournament either. They beat LSU 7-3, and then beat Oklahoma. I mean, just huge
They're a
game,
scary team.
10-5.
Were they in the Oregon Eugene Regional? Where were they at?
No, they hosted a regional.
That's right. They were yeah. What am I thinking? Who won? Who in the SEC won out of the Oregon?
Was that Mississippi State?
Might have been.
I think that's right.
It might have been. And Florida State dropped too. There was a couple of host sites that didn't make it through. So, but no. All right, I'll let you continue on your thought. Sorry.
Yeah, but beat Oklahoma, and as you mentioned, they just got the bats hot in that game, and they were just hitting it all over the place, hitting home runs. And then against Texas, they fell 5-4 in that semifinal game. They nearly made the SEC championship game on that run. So ended up sweeping their regional. They beat Charleston 5-2, beat UNC Greensboro in 5 innings, 8-0, and then shut out Clemson in the regional finals 5-0 to advance to the Super Regionals, play against Tennessee. So it's not going to be easy for Tennessee this weekend, and you're going to have to get your best stuff from whichever pitchers go. I'm going to say, I like what Karen Weekly did this past weekend. You're 100% correct as far as Erin Newer. I would not consider her the worst of the 3 pitchers. But if you're going to throw a pitcher in game 1 and be like, well, we'll see what we can get, and then we've always got one of the other 2 to come in, it would be Erin Newer. And she could absolutely go out there and she could throw another gem and go complete game and get you a victory. And then you've got 2 All-Americans that haven't even thrown a pitch yet going into game 2. And you can absolutely go out and you can win it in 2. But I feel very confident no matter who you put in the circle in game 1, they can go out there and get you a victory. And then it's all hands on deck for games 2 and 3. I mean, you've got whoever you want to go out there to win these games.
She could do whatever she wanted to this weekend with the rotation. I mean, I think she set it up to where she kind of do the same thing, but I'm more of a go get game 1 and then figure it out.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if she started Carlin on short rest because it's softball. I don't feel like they necessarily need the break that baseball players do necessarily. But I also wouldn't be surprised if she used all 3 of them in all the games.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I don't mind the strategy that she's played with.
Erin Newer for 2 innings and then throw in Carlin. And then if Carlin is doing her thing, put in Sage for the final inning. Or I feel like there's a way that she can literally throw the entire bullpen at Georgia in all these games.
I feel like a way that you can do this is kind of like they did in some of the bigger series this season. Throw Erin to start the game.
Yep.
Let her go through the lineup once.
Yeah, if she can.
Then you go to Sage. Go to Sage. Let her go through the lineup once.
Yep.
And then you've got...
That keeps the hitters so off balance, man.
You've got 2-time SEC Pitcher of the Year, Player of the Year as your closer.
She pitches probably better when she's closing. She is just confident and she trusts it, and I don't know, I love it. I'm telling you, man, I wouldn't mind that strategy if that's what we ended up doing in game 1. I know that sounds dumb because if it doesn't work, they're gonna be like, well, they couldn't even get in a rhythm, and no, bullcrap. It's pitching. You're in a rhythm the moment you throw your first pitch, and if you're not, then you weren't ready, and we need to go ahead and get that other pitcher in there. I really like that strategy, honestly, in this type of format.
Do whatever you need to do to get game 1. Yeah. And then you've got games you'd absolutely love to win it in 2.
Yeah.
But if you get it in game 1, then go out there and do whatever you feel like you need to in game 2.
You can flip it. Start Carlin.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that. Or you can start Sage, let her go as far as she can, and then you bring in Carlin to finish things off. You've done that numerous times as well. And then game 3, it's whatever your best strategy is, you go with. And, of course, that's if necessary.
Yeah.
But the bats are going to have to stay hot. They started to heat up a little bit this past weekend in the Knoxville Regional. You're going to have to stay hot.
Here's my thing.
3 runs is not going to be enough.
I want to see us, obviously, timely hitting has saved us this year. I feel like, you get somebody on base and, you only get 4 hits in a game, but by God, you scored them. The one time that we got to second base, we were able to score the ladies. I want to see us just put ladies on base. Make the pitchers nervous. Let's steal a bag or two. Like, I just want
Let's
a
lay
lot
down
of
a
traffic.
bunt or two.
I want a lot of traffic. I don't care if we put up 10 runs. I just want ladies on base every single. No 1, 2, 3 innings. How about that? That's my goal going into this series. That's going to be hard. I get that. Georgia's got some great pitchers. A lady transferred from UCLA there. So, I mean, we're going to have our hands full. But let's just try to avoid the 1, 2, 3 innings. Because, one, that makes a very short game. and two, like, if we can scratch, I think if it's 3 or 4 runs that we can score, we're undefeated. So let's try to score them first. So let's just go for it, man. It's going to be a fun. I think it starts Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, and then Friday is kind of like an early game. I think it's like 3 o'clock, but the Saturday is to be determined. So
yeah, I've got it saved.
We
somewhere
need
right here.
Sherry Parker Lee rocking, dude. I mean, they're gonna actually sell standing room tickets at the gate. So if you don't have a ticket, still go. Show up at the gate, get standing room only tickets, go get you a dog or some tacos. By the way, there's a taco food truck there. Amazing, bro. I'm telling you. I had buffalo chicken tacos. Take some napkins. It's messy, but it's good. It's so good. It's so good. But no, man, go there, support the ladies. I want to hear it rocking, man.
But yeah, Thursday night, 7 o'clock Eastern.
That's
if you're
right.
not able to make it, game is on ESPN2. Friday, it is going to be at 3 o'clock Eastern, so an afternoon game, also on ESPN2. And Saturday, it's going to be an early one,
Okay.
11 o'clock Eastern,
If necessary.
ESPN. That is if necessary. So
I like that they gave out the time slot. Usually, I didn't think they would do that but no, that's awesome.
Yeah. But you know what? Let's just go ahead and win in, too, so we don't have to worry about Saturday.
It's nice when we do that.
Take care of it.
Because typically we lose game 3. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go. Let's lock in.
All right. Well, you got anything else on Tennessee softball before we move on and talk about some baseball?
I got nothing. I'm excited. It's going to be a fun week. It's going to be a fun week.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's win Supers. Let's get back to the Women's College World Series. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and move on to segment 2. We're going to talk about some Tennessee baseball. But before we do that, I do want to give you our segment 2 sponsor, which is Kaizen Painting. Do you want a colorful life? Kaizen is a painting and drywall company that provides residential, commercial, exterior, and interior services. At Kaizen Painting, we understand the importance of a beautifully painted home and properly installed and repaired drywall. We're here to bring your vision to life. We care about providing you with a personalized, efficient, and quality service. If you live in Knoxville and surroundings, contact us for a free estimate at KaizenPainting.com. Color your life the Kaizen way. So, Tennessee baseball went to Oklahoma this weekend. It was not in Norman. It was in Oklahoma City, but it did not matter. Tennessee came out with a series win, taking the first 2 games. Game 1 is a little bit sketchy as you got off to a trailing 3-0. Cut the music. We're gonna get struck on YouTube. But no, ended up going down 3-0.
Copyright services. I had to cut that off. But yes,
Yeah.
ain't no love in Oklahoma, baby. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Sorry. As you were saying.
So they ended up getting down 3-0 to start the game as Tegan Coombs got a little bit rocked early, but then came back and put up a 4 spot in the third to take the lead. OU did score in the third and the fourth innings to take another lead, 5-4. But then Tennessee's bats in the next 2 innings got going, put up 2 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth. Oklahoma did come back and put up 2 in the eighth, but then we put up an insurance run in the 9th inning to give Tennessee the 9-7 victory. Your thoughts on game 1?
It was a nail biter, but it was a fun game.
It was a very fun game.
Very fun game. The 4 spot in the third had me feeling so good because we were down 0-3. And I'm like, boy, this is not a good start. And then not only did you answer in the third, but you took the lead. That was huge. Now, obviously, Oklahoma came back, tied it up, even took the lead again. But what did you go? You in the 5th and 6th innings, you came back, 2 runs. Bats came alive, hitting home runs, hitting doubles. I mean, we hit back-to-back doubles, and it was beautiful baseball. This game was a lot of fun. Oklahoma hit the ball crazy. I mean, like
They did.
they went crazy.
17 hits in this game.
They literally had 10 more hits than we did, but our hits were timely. We hit home runs when people were on base. I think, did we have 2 home runs in this game? They were both 2-run homers. So, like, they were never solo shots. I know, like, 3 of Oklahoma's home runs, or maybe 2 of them were, like, solo shots. So, I mean, we kept, the damage to a minimum. But overall, man, this was just a fun, gritty game. I mean, both of these teams kind of came into the weekend. I think we were tied, or if not, like, one game
We were
apart.
tied in the conference, yes.
Yeah. So, like, these teams needed this. I mean, this is all about tournament seeding. I think if one team swept the other in this series, they were going to earn that first-round bye in the SEC tournament. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't make that happen, but you took 2 out of 3. But, no, this game was awesome. Set the tone for the weekend. What a game 1 win. Especially, like you said, Tegan Coons wasn't even pitching his best, and you were still able to find a way to get the win. And you got to tip your cap to the defense, because when the pitcher pitches to contact, our defense is one of the best in the country. They did commit a couple errors, but like we'll let that slide because we won.
They did have more errors this weekend than they had all conference play this
But I think
season.
you got to tip your hat to Oklahoma. I mean, they just put the ball in play. I mean, you're not dealing with a game where you struck out 20 players like you did against Texas. No, I mean, you were lucky to get 6 strikeouts in a game. I mean, these guys were putting the ball in play, forcing your defense to make those plays. And no, I mean, the way we were able to handle that, this was a gritty back and forth game, and we were able to come out. Bo Rudy, I mean, when you got to have it. When you got to have it, he came through in a big way. That's that type of closer that we've been needing all year, because I'm telling you, our bullpen has let us down all the time. I know we haven't forgot early in the SEC season when we had a 3 or 4 run lead going into the 8th and 9th inning, and it gets squandered and we lose by 10 runs. Like, it's so nice that he came in that spot, got the win. Who pitched in between Coons and Rudy?
Appenzeller. He came in for 2 2/3 innings and did a pretty good job whenever he came in.
He did okay. I mean, I'm seeing 0 spots in the 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Yeah, he did end up giving up 4 hits, gave up 2 runs. That was off of the 2-run home run Oklahoma had in the 8th inning. And then Bo Rudy came in and slammed the door from there. So, great overall effort. And, we talk about the 3rd inning whenever they put up the 4 spot. They didn't even do it by way of the long ball in this one.
No, they didn't.
Started off with the Blake Grimmer double that scored Garrett Wright. And then right after that, you had Reese Chapman with a double that scored Blake Grimmer.
Yep.
Manny Marion
Back-to-back
had
doubles are a beauty of art, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And that what about that park playing the way it did, though? If you got something in the gap, I mean, a double almost felt like a single. I mean, you were trying to get 3 almost in that park. I loved it. It was a great park.
Yeah. Then Manny Marion had a sac fly that scored Henry Ford. Blaine Brown ended up getting a single in that inning that scored Reese Chapman.
Yes.
So, I mean, it was a lot of just timely hits, like you mentioned, that scored those runs. And then that's whenever the long ball opened up later in the game. 5th inning, Levi Clark with a big 2-run home run that scored Reese Chapman. 6th inning, Henry Ford with an absolute bomb
doubter, dude.
to left field.
His
that
only
scored
hit of the game, I
Blake
believe,
Grimmer.
and he just went absolutely nuts on it. I mean, it was crazy.
And even Levi Clark's was a no-doubter as well. I mean, he got a hold of that ball. And then the insurance run in the 9th was Manny Marion singling up the middle to score Jay Abernathy.
You brought him back up, and I wanted to. I feel like Manny Marion may be our best offensive player,
Oh, 100%.
which
Did
is
you
crazy.
see
I mean,
the
he's a
at-bat?
7-hole hitter, but that dude just puts barrel to ball.
Did
like-
you see the at-bat, the adjustments that he made mid-at-bat to be able to get that hit? That
He
is
did it several times,
textbook.
though, and we're going to talk about this as a game. But, like, his sack flies over the weekend were just beautiful. I mean, if there was a player on third and we had 0 or 1 outs, he did whatever he could to get that ball in the outfield as far as he could. Scored a run every time. I mean, it was beautiful baseball. It was doing a job. And in a game like this, you needed every run. I mean, you only won by 2. So, yeah, Manny Marion is so underrated. He's not like, he's a 292. I think he's a little bit above that, but batter in this game, at least he was at 292 on the season. But he is such a good ball player at the plate. And like you said, his adjustments mid count, depending on what the count is, him making the adjustments, just beautiful. I'm not crazy about him looking like Acuna up there with like the elbow and the knee, and the freaking foot pad. Like, he looks like Iron Man up there, but by God, if it's working, it's working.
Yeah. And he just does the little things right. Because for baseball guys especially, when you look at the at bat, the Oklahoma pitcher at this time, his name is Bixby. He was throwing some pretty good heat up there, and Manny Marion knew that he was behind to start the at bat on his swings. So what did he do? He shortened up his swing, choked up a little bit on the bat. I think he adjusted himself in the box as well. He got his hands down to the ball and just wanted to make contact, and he got it right up the middle and was able to score that run with Jay Abernathy. It was just a beautiful piece of hitting by Manny Marion, doing the little things right to be able to help his team out.
When a pitcher's throwing mid-90s, you don't have to swing that hard to get it to the outfield.
No.
You just got to make good contact. So, yeah, he did it. Did a great job. I do think his back foot was on, like, the back chalk line. So, I mean, yeah, he scooted further back in the box, so he had just that much more, time to see the ball. And, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to throw that out there. Manny Marion, very underrated player for the offense, man. He is a solid ball player.
Absolutely. And then going into game 2, this is one where Tennessee, once again, they got down 3-0 to start the game as Oklahoma put up a 3 spot in the first. Evan Blanco kind of got rocked a little bit in that first inning, but then he settled down, and boy, did he have himself a fantastic outing after that.
Yes, he did.
Tennessee put up yet another 4 spot in the third, deja vu, and then in the 5th inning, put up another run, and it was 5-3. Then you go into a weather delay. And
that was Oklahoma's worst news.
Yes. Yes, it was. And they were hoping it was just going to be for a little bit. Ended up getting postponed until Saturday, and they finished off the game and ended up playing game 3 right after that. But, yeah, Tennessee came out after that weather delay, put up
blazing
2
hot.
in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. Oklahoma did score 1 in the 8th, but it was just too little, too late at that point. Tennessee gets the win 9-4. And I want to talk about something that is very underrated. It's not going to go down in any, stat books, but it was textbook not textbook. It was genius what Josh Elander did in this one. So there was a threat of the weather coming in. Evan Blanco went 6 innings in the game. Most of the time, you're going to go to Brandon Arvidsson right after that, right? Try to go the rest of the game if he can. If not, at least get you to the 9th inning. And what did Elander do at that point? He went to freshman Haas. I think it's Will Haas. Will Haas. Went to him after Blanco in this game to pitch the 7th inning.
Yep.
And at first, I was very much questioning it because I was not watching the game.
Here we go.
I was listening to it. I was like, what are we doing? But after the one batter that Haas faced, that's whenever they called the game for the weather delay.
Yep.
And he didn't want to have Arvidsson go out there and pitch just a little bit and then go back out on Saturday. Actually, I don't know if they would let him in that same game, would they? If it gets postponed to the next day, if it's the same game, would he be able to go back?
That's a good question in the technicality of it. If Arvidsson, I know for a fact if Arvidsson had went in and then got taken out, like subbed out, even if it was the next day, he couldn't go back into that game.
Right.
But if he was still pitching, like let's just say he was 2 batters in, I do think he could come back and pitch. I think
so too. I just don't know that for certain. But
like Evan Blanco, let's just say he only went like 2 innings and then he gets subbed out, but because y'all made it to the second day, Blanco can't go back in once he's subbed out in that game. He could come back in game 2, or in this case, it'll be game 3. But I don't know. I could be wrong on that, but I do think he could have came back. But you never want to do that. You never want to get a pitcher warmed up. Like even in practice, you don't throw back-to-back bullpens on back-to-back days. You have to let that arm recover. Completely different than softball. So, yeah, I agree with you. It was a genius move.
Yes.
They were probably watching the radar in the dugout saying, hey, we just got to get through the next 10 minutes. Like whatever, however many outside is, however many, we just got to get to 8:38 or whatever the time was. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, they played that perfectly. And then, like you said, you had the guy you wanted to have come the final 3 innings on the next day.
Yeah, just great outing from Blanco. And then whenever you played the rest of game 2 on Saturday, great outing by Brandon Arvison as well.
It was so dominant. It's so like good baseball. You get guys on base and you scored the guys on base. Like you caused you caused traffic and then you just did a job. Whether it was bunting them over, sacrifice fly. At one point we had guys, I think bases loaded or guys on second and third, and we just went back to back sack flies. I mean, it was just like, what as a defense, that's so daunting because you can't do anything about it. Like, it was so frustrating. And so, no, it was just great. Usually in those moments, the most frustrating thing that can happen is striking out, and we didn't. We seen ball, we hit ball, we scored our runs, and we put away the Oklahoma Sooners in game 2. Not going to say at their home field, but in their home state. You went in there and you took 2 in the first 2 games. And that brings up a question, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Rhonda asked a little bit earlier, what are we going to do adjustment-wise to get through that third game with the pitching situation that we got going on right now? Because it does kind of appear, even though we put on a really good fight in game 3, we were just fighting from behind the whole time, but it does appear almost as if we're like throwing game 3 at this point. Like we don't even have an answer. So what are we going to do?
That's a great question, because if you cannot get Landon Mack back in there, because that's the answer is Landon Mack has got to come back. He's got to be that guy.
He is out for the SEC tournament.
Yeah. So and honestly, I'm okay with that, because I feel like you're gonna throw a guy like Nick Abraham or something like that on Tuesday against South Carolina. Then you're probably
it's already been reported that your boy Appenzeller, I believe, is going to start.
Appenzeller. Okay,
I
so
believe
he's gonna throw against South Carolina.
Reported. It's been reported. My sources could be wrong, but I think Cam Appenzeller is getting the start.
So Cam Appenzeller, then you're probably going to throw Teagan on Wednesday. If you make it to Thursday, you're probably going to throw Blanco. And then from there, it's whoever, if you make it that far.
There will be a day that you skip. I think if you make it, you'll have to play. If you win, correct me if I'm wrong. If you win Tuesday, you may have to play Wednesday, but if you win Wednesday, you may not have to play again until Friday. There's a day where it skips because they have to play both sides of the bracket. So
That's right. Yeah. So we'll pull up the bracket in a minute.
I think it's 5 total games if you win out.
Yes.
Which I think you have to in the SEC tournament. I think it's it's not double elimination, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah. So you have to win. So yeah, I think it's 5 total games being in the having to play on Tuesday night. To make it all the way to the championship series. And is that one game or is that a series? That's one game. That's one game. Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this game 3, and then we'll talk about the SEC tournament real quick. So, game 3 against Oklahoma, it went bad from the start. Gave up 6 runs in the first inning, 2 in the second inning. But then I do have to give credit where credit is due.
Oh, we locked
Tennessee fought back.
Oh, we locked in. Oh, yeah. Even when they didn't really even believe in the pitching situation we had going on, they locked in.
Mm-hmm. You put up 2 in the second. That made it 8-2 by the time you got to the third inning. 1 apiece in the fourth. That made it 9-3. But then Tennessee put up a 3 spot in the fifth. So it's 9-6. Oklahoma did score 1 in the bottom of the fifth. That made it 10-6. Neither team scored in the 6th. Then the 7th, Tennessee put up a 2 spot. It's 10-8 at that point. Oklahoma scored 1 in the bottom. It made it 11-8. Tennessee scored 1 in the top of the 8th. It's 11-9. But then Oklahoma scored 1 in the bottom of the 8th, 12-9, and then Tennessee couldn't put up anything in the 9th. But they fought back. They made it a contest towards the end, but just too little too late at that point. Without Landon Mack, the Sunday games are really, really hurting us with that pitching, because we just don't have a guy left. When you're throwing your best guys on games 1 and 2 between Tegan Coons, and then Cam Appenzeller, and then Landon Mack and Brandon Arvidsson. Yeah, you don't have that guy. So
I don't even know if it was a good thing for because typically you're like, okay, we put him in that situation. He got the butterflies out, but I hate to put this on one guy. Chandler Day had his worst outing ever. That dude walked 4 people, I think, in a row, and then gave up a grand slam. And then he was done. That was abysmal. He gave up 6 runs on 1 hit. Did he walk? Or did he hit? He walked in a he walked in a run or something. I don't know. It was terrible. It was really, really bad pitching. And like I said, in one hand, it's like, okay, well, he got the experience. He got thrown. But then it's like, okay, that probably hurt his confidence. I don't know, everything about, there's no way you could trust him in any kind of spot at this point right now. And unless he just shows you in practice that he's overcame that mentally. But right now, man, there's no way. I mean, that was a terrible outing. And I do feel like that a lot of this rode on that short half inning that he pitched.
Yeah.
Even Rhonda agrees with me, which is pretty sad because it was abysmal. It was bad. It was bad.
But as far as your game threes go, if you don't have Landon Mack, then you're in trouble if it goes to a game three.
You don't have Chandler Day. No, I'm joking. I'm just messing with you. No, I seriously think.
All right, here's go ahead.
Oh God, jinx. No, okay. So look, I understand you got to close out, win the game.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that we have not tried again since the injury, maybe, to try to start Arv. That dude has shown you that he can go length.
But here's another thing that blows my mind. Why are we not throwing Nick Abraham on the weekends? Why are we literally just using him on midweek games?
It's baseball. They don't do red shirts, right? I don't know. Do they? They red shirt technically, yes. But I'm just saying,
red shirts will be completely going away as far as
they're 5 to play goes. 5, but that's not this year though. But I'm just saying, I agree with you. Why? It's almost like they're trying to keep him from playing in so many SEC games is what I'm getting at. And so it's like, why? Why play him? He's got the arm. He can at least throw strikes. And right now, by God, that's what we need. Pitch to contact. You got one of the best defenses in the country. Whatever. I
agree with you. Why are we not trying Brandon Arvidsson again as a starter? Why are we not throwing Nick Abraham on the weekend? Yeah,
I like the move of throwing Appenzeller. I mean, any guys that have proven that they can get you 4 or 5 innings, let's go for it. And then baseball can kind of pull the move that softball is. Throw a cluster of people. Get 2 or 3 innings out of 4 different people. Boom, ball game. Whatever. So I mean, you're gonna have to figure it out. But yeah, we got to get through game 1. I think we will, just based on offense. I love the way our offense is looking. If we can get through game 1 with kind of like a bullpen game, then you at least know who your next 2 pitchers are for the next 2 games if you can keep winning and advancing. So I seen that you pull up the thing right here. Bring it on. Let's see what this playoff bracket's going to look like, or the SEC championship bracket's going to look like. The Vols, man, 10 seed, and it actually in my opinion, it looks worse than what the season's felt like. I feel like the season's not been that bad, but then you look and we're the 10 ranked team in the SEC. Mind you, we're ranked 23rd in the nation right now.
The fact that you were able to come out with a 10 seed after this past weekend, it was huge that you won a series against Oklahoma, because if you had lost a series,
Texas and Oklahoma, if
you had lost a series, you would have fell dang near to a 13 seed.
Yeah,
because at that point you would have lost a tiebreaker with Vanderbilt and with Kentucky. And you would have lost a tiebreaker with Oklahoma if there was, which there wouldn't have been one at that point because they would have been 1 game ahead of you. But you would have fell to a 13 seed at that point if you would have lost a series. So the fact that you were able to win the series against Oklahoma was huge to get you up to a 10 seed, because now you're playing against 15 seed South Carolina. You've already played them this season, and you won 2 out of 3, even though you should have swept.
Yep.
You've got the advantage against South Carolina. Then you would face off against Arkansas if you win on Wednesday. It'd be at the same time as on Tuesday. And that's going to be a tough game because you've already played one game at that point. But I feel like because of what you're doing with your pitchers,
because now you're going to be at your Friday night guy, technically.
Yes, yes. I like the fact that, which I knew that
They've
they
been
were
pretty
going
good
to
in
throw
game
Tegan
ones.
Coons. I knew you were not going to throw Tegan Coons in game 1 on Tuesday because that
you're
would
not
going to
go from Friday to Tuesday. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, it would have been Thursday to Tuesday.
Sorry.
Yeah, but still, at this point on Wednesday, you've got Tegan Coons. I like that matchup against Arkansas, and then if you win that one, then yes, it would be Friday that you're playing against Texas. So at that point,
I knew they'd skip. Yep.
Yeah, you've got if you make it that far, you've got Evan Blanco. And then when you get to Saturday, if you do, hey, it's Johnny Holstaff at that point. Whoever the
At that
next
point,
guy
I think
up,
you're working with house money, and you probably – I know they didn't really weigh the SEC tournament too much for the Lady Vols and the lady, softball. Dude, Tennessee's got a real chance. If they can beat 7-seed Arkansas, which I don't know what Arkansas is nationally, but I think they're top 10.
They're top 15.
Top 15? Okay.
Yeah.
You beat a top 15 Arkansas team if they could, just hypothetically. And then you turn around and beat a top 5 Texas team, or was top 5 Texas. They may have dropped as well. But either way, top 10 again. Tennessee has a real chance of hosting a regional, dude.
I feel like if you make it to Saturday, then yes, I think that you've
Without
got a
a doubt.
chance of hosting a regional.
I think if you make it to Saturday, I'm not going to say guarantee. If you make it to the championship game, you've guaranteed a host. But I think you've got a really good chance, and especially with the way you fight in the semifinals, if you can make it there, I do think you're hosting. But it's going to be a lot to get there. I'm not going into this tournament with any expectations. I'm just glad we're in the freaking dance, dude. Like, I don't think this whole conversation is Tennessee in or out. That's gone, bro. We went
Tennessee
15 and
is
15.
100%.
Yeah, we went 15 and 15 in conference play, 500. We always say that you got to get to 13. Well, we got to 15 against 2 really tough opponents in Texas and Oklahoma to finish out the year when people kind of thought we might even get swept. So, I mean, I'm really happy with the way the boys finished. I would like to see them play hard this weekend because there is something to play for. But I'm not going to sit here and cry if we get put out against Arkansas in the second round. Like, dude, that's a tough one. Let's lick our wounds and let's get ready to go play in whatever region we fall into because I know we have the guys to go win no matter what bracket we're in. Let's go get it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like no matter what happens here in the SEC tournament, then once you get to the NCAA tournament, whatever region you're in, I feel like you've got an advantage games 1 and 2 whenever it comes to pitching. Obviously, game 3 is where it's going to be up in the air at that point.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you win games 1 and 2, then I feel like you've got an advantage because whoever you play, they're going to have to play an extra game that you didn't have to. So they're not going to have pitching either. So you might have a high-scoring game that you're just going to have to score more runs than the other team at that point.
So Brian Rice is kind of alluding to is the fact that in softball and baseball, man, like some of these game 3s or game 4s, you're going to see some stupid number. Like, and we've already seen one baseball or softball game that was like 52 runs total scored. It was like 30-22 or so. It was crazy, dude. Like, and I'm just like, he was just kind of alluding to the fact that he's like, man, with the transfer portal now and everybody's so spread that like you don't have 3 aces anymore. Like you could see a stacked team have, and like at this point, you just gotta bullpen game is what it is. Go, offense, go feast or famine. So no, it's gonna be a fun week though. It's gonna be a lot of games played. So be locked in between the Lady Vols and the baseball team. It's going to be a wild week. So be tuned in and be loud. Show up for everybody, man. I mean. Obviously, Hoover, Alabama is where the Vols are playing. We got some fans down in Alabama or Middle Tennessee that can get down there, so go and check them out. And then, obviously, here at home in Knoxville, Thursday night. I don't care that you got to go work the next day. We need everybody. We need everybody there. Standing room. I don't even want there to be standing room. Like we need everybody there. Everybody there. Let's set a attendance record at Shirley Parker. Can we get 10,000 people? I'm joking. Probably not. But can we get 5,000 people? Maybe.
Hey, yeah.
I wonder what the record is there. Is it 3,000, 4,000? I mean, it's obviously not near the size of Lindsey Nelson. but might have to look that up real quick. This is great for radio.
Yeah,
we're live, by the way. All right. As I hear the keyboard chomping, the answer is good answer, Steve.
Yeah.
Good answer.
See, the single game attendance record at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium is 2548.
It's not even 3,000. We got to bust that. We got to bust it. That makes sense, though. Dude, their stadium is not near the size. I mean,
no,
understandably so.
It's got a seating capacity of 2,200, and that includes a 600 reserved chairback seats.
You got to think of how much smaller the field is. Like, you can't fit 6,000 people there. I understand that. But we can get 3,500 people there. Like, come on, dude, show up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. But
How cool
let's
would that
move
be?
ahead. Yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and just.
Could you imagine a home run hit to the
railroad?
railroad tracks and like fans are sitting out there because they can't get into the field? That's what I
Sitting with
need,
their
bro.
roads. Yes.
That's what we need. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah,
Anyways,
absolutely. So let's
Fuck
move
yeah.
ahead to our final segment. We're going to talk about a little bit of a football segment. Before we do that, Skylar, will you give us our segment 3 sponsor?
I sure can. I'm so excited about this one, guys. It is Bowie's Heating and Air LLC. They are a 24/7 full-service heating and air conditioning company, proudly serving the East Tennessee area with reliable residential, commercial, and new construction services. We provide comprehensive comfort solutions, including system repairs, preventative maintenance, and incomplete equipment installations. Our mission is to provide reliable service, honest guidance, and lasting comfort while building lifelong relationships with every customer we serve. Contact them today for all your HVAC needs at 865-360-0386. And guys, when your home feels off and the comfort's not there, do yourself a favor and call Bowie's Heating and Air. We appreciate you so much for your continued support. HVAC, baby. Let's go. Got HVAC, we got accounting, we've got painting, and we've got asbestos testing.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
absolutely.
We're just trying to go down the bucket list. Just mark them out. No, I'm joking. We need a lawyer next. I heard they got money. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
All right. We got to talk some football a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to rank the new hires in the SEC for 2026. So, for those who don't know, there are 5 brand new head coaches in the SEC entering 2026. There's technically 6 new coaches at different teams, but one of them is Lane Kiffin, which just went to Ole Miss, from Ole Miss to LSU. We're not going to rank him in this because he was previously a head coach in an SEC program. But we've got 5 new head coaches that have not been head coaches at SEC programs before this. So we're going to rank them how we think they're going to fare at their respective schools. So, Skylar, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I can go first, but are we starting bottom to top?
Bottom to top.
All right. I got my number 1. Ryan Silverfield, Arkansas. Just don't feel like that's going to work out. I think everybody was confused when they hired him, bro. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't think he's been surrounded by the support that he needs. I think it was a confusing move in the beginning. He's clearly not getting help from like donors or anything like that. Like, I just don't think it's a winning move for Arkansas, and I think this is not going to last too long.
I completely agree with you. I also have Silverfield at number 5. I mean, Arkansas panicked because they thought that they had Alex Golesh hired. Like, there was a report that came out that said Arkansas is finalizing a deal with Alex Golesh. I don't know if that was a fake report or not. I thought
Which
it came
had me
across
scared,
ESPN.
by the way.
Yes, yes.
I was like, dang, Arkansas
Me
did something
too.
smart.
Me too. I'm pretty sure it was an ESPN report that it came out, but it came out they were hiring Alex Golesh. Then it came out later, Pete Thamel said, no, Auburn is hiring him. And it was like Arkansas panicked, and they hired the highest rated group of 5 head coach at that point. It was a coach that beat them this past season, as Memphis did beat Arkansas. But Silverfield, he has been at Memphis for a decade. And what has he done? Absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Couldn't even win the conference. Couldn't even win the American Conference. I think he only made 1 title game his entire time that he was at Memphis as well. And they were the favorites pretty much year in and year out to win the conference. They could not do it.
Yeah.
He is 12-22 against FBS teams that finish 500 or better.
You did your homework and research. I just don't feel like it's going to work out, man. This is crazy.
I've got it pulled up here, some of the stats.
No, I love it. I love it. But I'm just like, man, just remembering how that hire happened. And then also, man, you got to look at like how much help are they receiving in our world. Like the coaches around, like his staff, like just nothing seems like a winning. You don't hear anything hype coming out of Arkansas right now. Like nothing. Like you can usually when a new hire happens and the spring ball and all that, like there's a whole lot of hype coming out of that. Maybe the media team's just that bad. I don't know, but like nothing. Crickets, absolutely no news coming out of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Maybe good things. Maybe that's why, that's maybe what's he wanting, but like I don't see it lasting very long. So
yeah, and not to mention Silverfield has never had to rebuild a program before. When he took over at Memphis, he came after Mike Norvell.
They literally hired him because he beat him.
Top. Yes. Yes. I mean, they literally panic hired. It's not going to go well at Arkansas.
No. He didn't even, in my opinion, I don't even feel like he was a great Memphis coach. He was a good Memphis coach. I don't feel like he was a great Memphis coach. So, anyways.
Yeah.
You want me to go for my number 4 or you want to go for number 4?
I'll go with number 4.
All right, let's go.
My number 4 is going to be Pete Golden at Ole Miss. I do not feel good about that hire at all. I feel like they literally did what Mississippi State did a few years ago, just a different situation. So obviously Mississippi State a few years ago, Mike Leach ended up passing away tragically towards the end of the season. And to keep the team together, Mississippi State decided, let's just hire within.
The defensive
try to keep everything. Yes, the defensive coordinator and Zach Arnett, guy that has not been a head coach before. It went terribly wrong. If anything, they took a step back after that.
Oh, definitely.
And they literally had to rebuild from the bottom whenever they hired Jeff Lebby in. Same thing, but different situation here at Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin left before the playoffs to take the LSU head coaching job. So to keep the team together, they said, let's just hire within and let's get a guy that the team's going to rally around. And that was Pete Golden. Like you mentioned, he is a defensive coordinator. Not to mention, going into this season, they put all their chips in on Chambliss getting another year. And even though they're still fighting with the courts and everything on that, it's not a guarantee that he's going to get to play this season.
Not looking good. And Austin Simmons went to Missouri. So,
yeah. So, I mean, at this point, who in the world is going to be Ole Miss's quarterback if Chambliss does not get to play? So, I don't think this is going to go well. I think that Ole Miss, even though they've got all the talent in the world, they've got the donors backing them now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to last very long. I think he's going to take Ole Miss back down to a mediocre program.
Okay, this is the one spot where we disagree. I think my 4th worst, and this is not necessarily this year, but I think it is it's going to end up being this year. But I just think over the longevity, but I think it's John Summerall at Florida. Don't feel like that was a great hire. I almost feel like that may have ended up being a Billy Napier 2.0 hire. But we're going to find out. I mean, maybe second time is the charm for them on this hire. I do feel like he brings on a different identity with his game, and that is definitely something Florida's going to need. But I think much like you're kind of saying, the Mississippi State, the hiring, set them back even further. I almost feel like as much as Billy Napier, I always wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, and that he always had a competitive team. At the end of the day, you got to win games, and there was so many Florida Gators in the last 2 years that have left that program, said terrible things about that program, yada, 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 that I almost feel like that set back the program even further. And so I kind of feel bad about the situation that Coach Summerall is going into, because not only are you having to rebuild a program, you're almost having to rebuild the reputation, and that is so much harder than just building a program. You know what I mean? So I think he's going to have his hands full. Florida does have a great support system around them, so that can maybe help carry him. But you've seen what coaches at Florida, even with that great support, have been able to do, and they can still find a way to mess it up. So I don't like John Summerall in this position for Florida, but as a Tennessee fan, I'm really not that worried about that. I'd love for that to not work out. So, yeah, even though we don't play him this year, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead with my 3 because this is where I do have John Summerall.
Yeah, I mean, I figured we just swapped him up.
Yeah, the only reason that he's not at 4 is I do think that there's the potential that John Summerall, because of the backing and everything that Florida boosters and everything can give him, and because Florida, historically, they're a good program. They've got everything behind them. I feel like there's a chance that he can have the success. But this is literally Billy Napier 2.0. I mean, you're taking a guy that has had a lot of success.
Same school,
at the
right?
5 level. No, it was.
Oh, okay. I thought they were literally
at
the same school. Like
it was Louisiana that
they took Tulane.
Billy Napier came from,
and John Summerall
came from Tulane.
Same state.
Yeah, same state.
Whatever.
But
all right.
But yeah, he had a lot of success at the Group of 5 level, but. I mean, they run very similar styles. They're both defensive-minded head coaches. They're not offensive head coaches. Granted, when they were at the Group of 5 level, they had a defense that allowed less than 21 points per game in conference play over the last 4 seasons. But, man, Florida's in a place where you got to get a guy that can turn this program around. And I don't think they did that with John Summerall. Once again, I don't feel like John Summerall is a guy. I don't have this on the sheet anywhere, but I don't think he's ever had to rebuild a program. And that's pretty much where you're at with Florida right now. You're going to have to rebuild this program because of where it's been left with Billy Napier being there. And then not only that, yes, Florida has resources, but you've also got a men's basketball program that 2 seasons ago just won a national title. They were the favorites to win the national title this year until they got put out in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. It was Sweet 16 when they got put out. You've got a baseball program that is top 5 in the SEC right now. They're going to host a regional. You've got a softball program that year in and year out is top 5 in the SEC and most of the time top 10 in the country. I mean, you've got all these other programs in Florida that are having success. And football runs everything. But if they don't see on the field results, how long are they going to keep backing them instead of backing some of these other schools with success?
I think Florida's basketball team got put out in the round of 32.
You're right. You're right. That was around a 32 because
Yeah,
Iowa was a 9 seed.
Up my bracket, bro.
Iowa was a 9 seed. You're correct on that.
I had them losing, I think, in the Elite 8, and even like people were saying I was too low on them then. I'm like, no, I don't think they're going to back-to-back, Final Four here, but whatever. Yeah, no. But yeah, to your point, 100%, I agree with everything you just said. I mean, I think I'm really about to blow your mind, though, because my 3 is, my 3 is not going to be what your 4 was. My 3 is actually going to be Alex Golesh at Auburn.
Ooh.
Yes. Not to say that I'm hating on that hire. I think it's a huge hire. I think it kind of works hand in hand with Auburn expects a lot. Like, dare I say, they may be, and this is crazy, this is a hot take, Auburn fans may be worse than Alabama fans. As far as, like, the unrealistic expectations that they have for their team.
Here's the difference. Alabama hits those expectations a lot of times.
Exactly, which is why their fans, yeah. But, dude, they fired one of their best coaches because they could, like, I don't know. Yeah, you might have went 8-4, but you went 8-4 and beat Bama. Like, I mean, I would take that all day long, dude. I don't know. Like, but now they can't even go 6-6. It's things like that. I feel like puts Alex really, like, almost handcuffed, because if this dude doesn't go out in year 1 and hit those expectations, and God forbid that seat's already warm going into year 2, and he doesn't hit those expectations, like, it doesn't even matter if he's doing a good job. Auburn's still going to fire him. And that's like such the crappiest position to be in. But all that could be squandered if he could go out there and just win immediately. If he could go 7-5 in year 1, I mean, that's exceeding expectations, and he's probably going to be set. That's awesome. I do think he has that potential. He's going to bring an exciting brand of football to Auburn, don't get me wrong, but I also feel like he's really working an uphill battle here. Not necessarily against, like, just team building. I think he can do that. But it's almost like him, everything off the field, too, I think is just going to be so hard for Alex Golesh. And his first, well, no, he's been a head coach, but, like, first time in the SEC head coach. I just think that's going to be.
First Power 5 job.
Yeah, first Power 5 job is what I'm going for. But, yeah, I think that's going to be an uphill battle. I think that's going to be hard. But with that being said, my number 2 is Pete Golding. Because I think Pete Golding and Ole Miss, the reason why I have him pretty high, actually, because I remember coming in here last week, and I was just kind of like, Pete Golding, I think that's kind of like the cop-out answer. And I still believe that, but I also think Ole Miss is taking it so personal that they're going to want to try to stay above LSU now, because that is a huge rivalry. I think they're going to pour money into Pete Golding to where almost Pete Golding doesn't even have to be that good of a coach to assemble a great team and just try to do whatever they can. The money that they didn't necessarily have to spend on Lane, they're now they're able to spend on the players. And, I think Pete Golding's going to be very competitive. I think he's going to have competitive. We don't know necessarily how that quarterback, situation is going to work out, but like at the end of the day, he's still got some great players that stuck around in that program that are going to be able to make it work at Ole Miss. And so I do think he does have the support behind him that's going to make it work. And so I guess with that being said, both of our number ones, if you want to call it out.
Well, I've got my number 2 here that I got to get to.
Oh, who did I skip?
No, you.
I did skip one, and I can't believe I did. It's all good.
My number 2 is going to be
no
Will.
way he's my number 1. God, I want to switch him and Pete Golding so bad. It's fine. It's fine. I skipped him so bad. That's what you get for not taking notes, Tarpon. All right, go ahead.
My number 2 is going to be Will Stein at Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I feel like that this was a great hire that Kentucky made because
Yep.
they have been stuck in the defensive-minded head coaches for years. I mean, Stoops was a defensive-minded head coach, and he's been there for, 12 years or something like that he was there?
This is a goated number 1 pick, by the way. Let me cut you off right there. I actually love this pick at my number 1. But, yes, continue. I'm just going to agree with you like I understood, but it just popped in my head. All he's got to do is win 7 games, and that dude's got a job for life, bro. This is the perfect number 1 answer.
So Will Stein, being an offensive-minded guy, it's going to be a breath of fresh air for Kentucky.
Yeah.
At least brings some sort of excitement. Brings some sort of excitement to Kentucky football because there has been none over the last several seasons since the last time they won 10 games. And it's just I feel like it's a perfect place for Will Stein. Do I think he's going to have Kentucky competing for any kind of championship? Absolutely not. But he can consistently go out and compete for 7 wins, 8 wins, and give Kentucky some sort of excitement. Now, the caveat to that is he's got to have a good defensive coordinator that can still give or have Kentucky play some sort of decent defense.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the offense is going to be much improved from what it has been over the last decade and a half, 2 decades at Kentucky. They're going to start upsetting some teams. Teams like Tennessee are going to have to watch out because Kentucky's going to be able to put up points. But can Kentucky stop folks is going to be the question. And I think that they will be able to as long as he gets a good defensive coordinator in there.
Yeah. Breaking news, by the way, Reese Chapman ruled out for round 1 of the SEC tournament. That's kind of a huge bat. That was one of your hotter bats. I mean, that dude's really been lights out, to be honest with you, in the lineup.
I mean, started every single game this season in right field.
A little nervous about that one. But that's okay. Jay Abernathy, step up. I mean, I don't know. Like that's just my mindset at this point. So I gotta spill the beans because that means you got Alex Golesh number 1. That's okay. That's not bad. And I'm gonna let you speak your case, but Will Stein.
Hang on real quick before we get into it. So this is the full report. So he might not just be out for 1 game. This might be multi-game. Reese Chapman was struck in the face by a line drive at practice today.
Dang.
Yeah, so he's out for South Carolina. Availability uncertain for the rest of the tournament.
To be honest with you, this is where I'm going to say, and this is going to hurt because I want to win everything, but he needs to just take the week off. Get healthy, get right. Before you even go back to practice, make sure you're healthy and right because, dude, when you get struck in the face, you're just trying to get back to being able to see or whatever. If he broke a jaw, I don't know, but he needs to get right to even have a chance to go because you're going to have to overcome that mentally too. I don't know if this was like he missed the ball or if he wasn't looking because it's practice. He could have been throwing catch in the outfield and got hit, whatever. We don't know. He could have been
in foul territory
exactly.
And just came into the dugout.
Just prayers for him, man, because that's scary. I mean, getting hit by a fly ball in the face hurts. I can't imagine a line drive to the face. That is probably equal to, if not worse than,
getting hit in the face by a pitch.
And I'm trying to
Lawless had happened.
Stone Lawless, thank you. I'm like, he literally got hit in the face so no, 100%. So prayers up to Reese Chapman, man. That's not what we wanted to hear at all. But back to the coaches, we got to wrap this thing up. But you're going with Alex Golesh number 1. I'm going Will Stein number 1 because I'm taking this as longevity in their spot. Not necessarily, and it should be success in their spot, but I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand. Will Stein, I don't think is going to win a natty at Kentucky. I don't think any of these coaches are going to win a natty, though. So, I mean, let's just be honest there. But the reason why I could not go any higher on Alex Golesh is I almost feel like because we want him to do good, he's probably not going to, which is like a weird thing to say, but that's kind of like that BVS syndrome that we have. I want Alex Golesh to be that good of a coach because I want Josh Heupel to, not like a Nick Saban thing because Nick Saban produced like half the SEC's coaches, but like, Josh Heupel would be like, yeah, we were a power head coaching team, whatever. Like he was on my staff and yada, yada. And that's just like him planting the seeds of because that's what a great coach does. They put other head coaches in the league. And so it would almost help, as much as it would help Alex Golesh, it would help Josh Heupel go get the next assistant. I mean, think about it. So, I mean, yeah, I think because I want him to do good, I don't know if he will be able to, but I want to hear your case on why you think Alex Golesh. But I think we all know it. I think it's because we really feel like that Alex Golesh was responsible for how awesome our 22 defense or offense was.
Yeah, so the reason that I put Alex Golesh at number 1, I'm just going to kind of compare it
because you're a homer,
to each of these other coaches that have been brought in. So Ryan Silverfield, he was brought in when Memphis was really at their best, and he never took them any higher. John Summerall, yeah, he took Tulane higher than what they originally were before he got there.
Decent recruiter.
Yes. Decent.
I mean, we took his
well.
wide receiver. His running back went to the Titans. Like he's got some good players.
Yeah, but there's still that caveat of can he do it at the next level? Can he do it at that power forward level? Pete Golding, I just don't really have anything good to say about Pete Golding. He's been at other places and done decent
playoff wins than Josh Heupel.
That was a Lane Kiffin led team until that point. Anyway,
just saying, bro.
You're distracting me from my point.
I'm sorry. I can already see those charts now.
In the past, though, at Pete Golding's other spots, it hasn't gone well overall. I just don't think it's going to go well with him as a head coach. And then Will Stein, he's never been a head coach before. He's only been an assistant coach. Granted, he did very well as the offensive coordinator at Oregon. Helped lead them to an 11-1 regular season. Alex Golesh went to South Florida after leaving Tennessee and took a program that over the previous 3 years was 4-29 overall. He led them to a winning season in his first year and then had them in playoff contention in year 2.
And so I think,
and beat Florida. So I really think that Alex Golesh at Auburn, he's got the backing. He's got everything that he needs. I think that he's going to have success. That offense is going to be electric. Once again, kind of like Will Stein, is he going to be able to hire a guy to run his defense and be able to stop folks in the SEC? And I think out of Alex Golesh and Will Stein, Golesh has got the mindset to be able to do that a little bit more than Will Stein right now because he's got that coaching experience now. It was at the group of 5 level, but he's got that head coaching experience over Will Stein. So I think that Alex Golesh, I think he's going to have the best career, but on the flip side, he could absolutely have a bad season and then Auburn fans turn on him. That's, you brought that up. That is the point that could happen. But I think out of all these guys, Alex Golesh is going to have the best career overall.
And there you have it. Our 5 through 1 on the 5 brand new head coaches in the SEC. Lane Kiffin don't count because he was in the SEC last year and he abandoned his team. So
can we both agree that out of all, if we were going to include him in this, Lane Kiffin would be number 1 as far as the overall career because he's going to have success at LSU. Is he going to win a national title? That is yet to be determined. But he's going to have success down there.
Who is Alex Golish's defensive coordinator?
Give me a second to look that up. I do know that Tim Banks is on his staff, but he's not the defensive coordinator.
I don't blame Tim Banks for that. I mean, we fired him. Who cares? It's not like Tim Banks left us to go there.
Tim Banks is good at certain positions. I don't feel like he is a good defensive coordinator overall.
I would agree with that. I mean, I'm sitting here talking about how I almost feel like I'm this is kind of sidetracked, but I almost feel like I'm contradicting myself because I'm sitting here saying that like I'm not a big believer in Willie Martinez, and I think we need to go a different direction in the defensive backs group. But then you look at our drafts the last several years, and it's like defensive backs are getting drafted at a higher clip than almost any other position on our team, which almost makes it even more puzzling. Why do we get thrown on so much, dude? If our defensive line is good, but it's linebackers too. I mean, it's our back seven they're not playing together as a unit. We have great players, but they're not playing together as a unit. I do think that's a coaching problem.
That's not a bad defensive coordinator. He's got DJ Durkin. He kept him on on staff whenever Hugh Freeze got fired. He was able to retain DJ Durkin, so that's not a bad defensive coordinator.
There you go. All right, man. Let's wrap this thing up. You got anything before we get off here? Obviously, we got SEC tournament starting tomorrow. That's why we went live tonight. The Lady Vols begin their Super Regional run at home Thursday night. And we'll be back to talk about it on Tuesday next week.
Yep, Tuesday next week. I do have one thing. If you've got anybody that you can have subscribed to the channel, we are 8 subs away from hitting 600 on YouTube.
Let's go.
So create a burner account if you need to. Go subscribe to the channel.
Take your kids'
help
phone.
us out. Yeah. I do want to give a shout out to Facebook. We're at 1,600 followers on Facebook now.
That's all you, baby. Them reels are going crazy. Honestly, it kind of blows up my phone. I'm like, oh man, I got like 7 notifications. And then I'm like, wow, that's a lot because I'm not that famous. But then when I click on it, it's like not 7 notifications. No, it's like 1,478 notifications on how many people like the. I'm like, oh, darn, Michael's putting in work, baby. So yeah, great job doing the clips, man. We're gonna continue doing it, and we're right here live for you, talking balls all the time, baby.
Absolutely.
Go Vols, Rhonda.
Appreciate everybody.
As always. Let's go.
Yeah, unless there's a ball game on. Yeah, no.
Which is what we learned. We learned our lesson here. Okay. All right. We take notes, and yeah. Go Vols, everybody.
Yeah, go Vols.